My name is Dina Mancini Godinez. I am the director of Horses Bring Hope, the therapeutic riding barn run out of Smithbridge Stables in Wakefield, Rhode Island.
My name is Linda McBride and I'm a retired psychiatric and mental health clinical nurse specialist. This program enriches the lives of children and adults with disabilities through their interaction with the horses and the surrounding environment.
Some of our kids have suffered traumatic events in their lives, and that leads to anxiety, depression, PTSD. Our clientele are kids with epilepsy, ADHD, autism spectrum, multiple sclerosis, and cancer survivors.
August of 2010, I had my innocence taken from me before I had the opportunity to willingly give it away myself. On my 15th birthday, my life was drastically altered. When I was diagnosed with anorexia nervosa and partial bulimia, which put into perspective how much the previous events had taken effect on me and still continues to this day. Growing up, I was lucky enough to not only have my parents, but my aunt as a maternal figure in my life. On November 3rd, we got a call and she was murdered. And it really hit home. Growing up and now not having her here after the time she has stood by me, I didn't think I'd be able to really do it without her. December of 2010, my biggest support, my heart, my soul, my best friend and my sister was diagnosed with a brain tumor the size of a baseball. Allie's dream was to attend Boston University, as they told her she wouldn't even be able to graduate high school. As my girl always pushed through, she graduated high school, and no sooner later, the cancer grew into her cheekbone and the side of her face. The only option she would have was to cut out part of her face, and she didn't want to live like that. November 7th, 2012, I lost my best friend. I needed to learn how to finally do it on my own.
My name is Caitlin, I'm 12 years old. When I was 5, I was diagnosed with rhabdomyosarcoma. We were actually sorting clothes in my room. I had bent over and my mom was like, "Oh, Caitlin, did you bang yourself?" And I'm like, "No." She said, "Well, then why is there this bump on your back?" And so a couple months later, we went to the spinal doctor and they did x-rays and they did like biopsy, and we found out that I had cancer. I remember going to the Tomorrow Fund, which is where I had gone for the treatments for the first time, and I was so scared. I'd be in the hospital on bed with the drip, and my mom stayed with me, and I was sick like all the time. Like I would throw up constantly, and my hair fell out. I was bald for a long time. I had quite a few surgeries. I had a surgery to remove the tumor, and then I had an infection in my back, so I had to have a wound vac. And so I'd have to have surgeries, like 5 surgeries in a month or something like that. It's like the worst thing you could ever imagine to happen to you. I got done with treatments when I was 7. After the radiation, there's like this gap in my back. So the summer of after I had turned 7, I loved horses. So I'm like, "Daddy, Mama, can I do riding lessons?" And they're like, "Yeah, that would actually be really good for your back." So we talked to my spinal doctor, and he's like, "Yeah, that would be great for your like core muscles, like build up your muscles and that kind of thing."
My name is Benjamin Watson and I am 12. I started off as a therapeutic rider for my social skills, along with a bit of fine motor skills.
He had just been diagnosed with autism and he had ADHD, and so he had a lot of social issues and communication issues, and also he was having trouble making friends, and he had some fine motor issues, and so I had done some reading and found that therapeutic horseback riding might help him.
Horses Bring Hope is not really just a work environment. You don't feel like you're just part of a group. You feel like a family here. You know everyone here cares about you and cares about your problems at home. We all try to help each other, and it's just amazing to come here and be able to know that you have a second family. If people don't have it at home, you know you can come here.
One of my favorite parts of this is that I learn just as much from the kids as they learn from me. It's pretty amazing to watch them heal. Every time they come, you see them grow, you see them learn a new skill, or you see them develop confidence.
I've witnessed a powerful, healing, intimate, safe connection between the members of the staff and the horses that then gets translated to the children and the adults with disabilities. I've watched children as young as 4 years old and adults in their 60s who have just this incredible joy in their face because they're riding a horse and they're learning skills and they're developing confidence in a non-judgmental place where everyone is so caring and looking out for one another.
I would definitely recommend riding traditional or therapy lessons to really anyone, because to watch yourself grow is the most rewarding thing. I can honestly admit for the first time out loud that my name is Danielle Quello and I am 20 years of age, and I have PTSD, I have anxiety, I have depression, and I have been recovered for 2 years, and I couldn't be more thankful for my Forever Farm family that I have found. You guys help more than words can ever describe.
It brings her a joy that at one time she wasn't able to show, and to be able to see your child smile after all she's been through. I never thought I'd see it again.
One of the things that HBH does and therapeutic horseback riding does for Ben and for us is that we see Ben being successful at something, and that makes all the difference in the world. To have him have an activity where he wants to be here every week, he wants to be on the horse, and he wants to be successful is just such a huge change over where he was when he started. So now this year, he actually is branching out a little bit and wants to try fencing, and so he's been trying fencing, and that's a new activity for him, and he's actually made friends there, and he wouldn't have done that 3 years ago. He just wouldn't have been the same kid that he is.
I'm speechless about how much better my life has been. It's Horses Bring Hope.
I have a lot of fun with riding lessons. I learn stuff, and I love the horses.
Some of these kids haven't had the easiest time in their life, but now seeing them as breaking through that point in their lives and beginning to flourish and really become amazing people is just really amazing and rewarding to see, knowing where they came from in the beginning.